No one should want anything bad to happen to a single Israeli. And for exactly the same reasons, no one should want anything bad to happen to a single Palestinian or, above all, an American, from my perspective. But bad things have happened, are happening, and will happen to all three groups. And I very much hope I am wrong, but fear that I am right, for the reasons that have been discussed here. Now, governments and individuals can take any actions that they perceive to be in their very best interests, but should then be prepared to face the consequences from those actions. In America's case, our massive, unwavering military, financial, and political support for Israel has severely damaged every single aspect of the global role which America sees itself as designed to perform. While that of itself is of great significance, we have also generated disappointment, resentment, anger, and worse on the part of hundreds of millions of former friends and admirers. We have also assisted Israelis in severely degrading the chances for attainment of their most fervent wish, which is to live in peace and security among its neighbors. Both nations, ours and Israel, are violating on an hourly basis every single principle for which we endlessly insist we stand. Actions like that carry a cost which can be ignored but cannot be avoided. The administration, ours, and the media appear unable to comprehend that America can no longer claim the moral high ground which used to be ours. We consider ourselves to be a moral people, and we are, and we consistently bellow that we are, but our actions abroad, especially in the Middle East and in Palestine, Israel, have destroyed that image in the minds of far too many people worldwide, and that includes many people here at home. Now, every country is required at times, every individual as well, to be hypocritical for whatever reasons. But hypocrisy is more prevalent and infinitely more visible in the case of larger nations, such as ours, because they have a wider range of interests and a much wider reach. Hypocrisy, however, is the deadly enemy of morality because it results in the application of differing reactions to similar events depending solely on who is responsible for them. The result is selective morality, which is an oxymoron. It is not morality at all. Point here is a plea. We must discontinue obscuring the true natures of the occupation of Palestine by employing euphemistic words which distort the realities and make resolving the issue that much more difficult. For example, to me, it is misleading in the extreme to employ the phrase ending the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. There's no conflict there. A conflict is between two nation states that have territories and armies to defend them. The Palestinians have neither and have never had either. It's not a conflict, it's an occupation. There is a tremendous difference. Similarly obfuscatory is peace process. There's no war going on there, but there is an occupation which one side imposes on the other. But the worst and most egregious of all the phrases is Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. Think about that for a second. There is nothing whatever resembling a negotiation when the leader of the Palestinian prisoners meets with the leader of the armed guards to beg for some small improvement in the quality of life inside the world's largest fresh air prison. That is not a negotiation. And the problem with these words and others like them that are almost always employed is that they create an image of equality, of parity, of two sides with equal authority, control, and power. Nothing could be farther from the truth. It is within the context of their brutal 40-year occupation and suppression that on their own terms that the occupiers accept to speak with the occupied, and the relationship is this, not that. Let's stop using words which confuse us even more. Thank you very much.
Dear friends, during the 7 years of the Bush administration, the peace process between Israel and Palestine has been frozen. During these years, the situation on the ground has worsened beyond recognition. Settlements have been widened at a rapid pace. The life of the Palestinians has been turned into hell. The situation in Gaza is catastrophic. With the miserable term of office of George Bush nearing its end, we must hope that the next president, whoever he will look at the real interests of the United States, Israel and Palestine with a new eye. He will see that the unlimited support given by Bush to the most obnoxious right-wing elements in Israel has done almost irreparable damage to the United States in the Middle East. It has generated profound emotions of anti-American hatred and revenge and created an ideal climate for Al-Qaeda-type terrorism. A lasting Israeli-Palestinian peace based on justice and reconciliation serves the best interests of the United States. It is also a basic interest of Israel and Palestine. I hope that the next president, especially if it is Barack Obama, will realize that support of Israel is an empty phrase. The question is, which Israel? The Israel of the settlers, the nationalistic, religious fanatics, the warriors of a permanent war, the ethnic cleansers, those who dream of eventually driving all the Palestinians out of Palestine, or the Israel of those who seek peace and reconciliation, who want to put an end to the shameful occupation, who want to turn Israel into a modern, liberal, democratic, secular, progressive state. Unfortunately, most Americans know next to nothing about the Israeli peace movement. Our actions are not reported in the American media. We are boycotted by official America. The so-called Israeli lobby, whether Jewish or Christian, does untold harm to Israel. In truth, it is not a pro-Israeli lobby at all, but a pro-right-wing Israeli lobby. John Mearsheimer and John Walt, who have done us a great favor, a great service by making this clear. I hope to see them soon. To move towards peace, past mistakes must be condemned. Past crimes must be uncovered. Responsibilities must be assigned. The events of 1948, including the Nakba, must be revealed. It is not a one-sided story. I repeat, it is not a one-sided story. I call for the establishment of a Committee for Peace and Reconciliation on the South African model, composed of Israeli, Palestinian, and international experts. We can do this now. I call for the establishment of a permanent framework of Israeli, Palestinian, and international organizations to work together for peace between a free, independent, and sovereign Palestine and a free, independent, and sovereign Israel. Let us again raise the banner of hope. Yes, we can.